confidence here on Nuke as well. I mean, you just look back over to DreamHack Masters Spring. Some of these results: 16-3 victory against Fnatic, 19-17, albeit a loss. It's still overtime against FaZe, and then a 16-7 win against Godsend. This is very comfortable territory for Team Spirit, and they should be getting through this map easily unless SELECTAH can have a big T side. Flato starting off the pistol round the right way to kick things off well for his team, and even doubles up with a second kill onto I Disbalance.
SELECTAH, I mean, choosing the T side to start on, that is a lot of that's pretty ballsy in general, and you don't see a lot of teams, especially against a team like Team Spirits, to go for that choice. The bomb has been planted. JL is actually crawling down, gonna get chopped down by Chopper, and Magic towards ramp will shut down Tap, but this is still very doable for the Team Spirit squad. SELECTAH is getting a little bit too aggressive, and now Oscar has to defend the bomb plant against 3 players because honestly they've just not played together in the end. They got so much done at the start, and Oscar's gonna get annihilated. The pistol goes to Team Spirit, but this is absolutely really questionable on SELECTAH's game plan after those opening kills.
Well, despite the double entry found by Juan Flatro, SELECTAH are not able to convert that pistol round in their favor. Juan Flatro is going to be able to pick up an AK and some body armor at the very least in this round, as the rest of his team force around him to try and take some early economic control. They should be Team Spirit dispatching of this one fairly easily, but you always have to be careful about these second round buys. The Deagles can catch any team off guard.
Deagles is still incredibly dangerous. Juan Flatro tagged down heavily, though, and Mir peeks out wide with his SMG, gets himself a kill. He's even going to try and fall back, but JL does not get the kill there. I Disbalance scout fight long range with the player on top of Silo. It is going to be a 2-man advantage right now for the Team Spirit squad. A nice tag coming in, but the 2 outside defenders are the lowest HP players from Team Spirit, so this is still doable if that scout gets a tag, but it is looking very unlikely with the amount of damage dealt to JL as well as the rest of the team.
This scout presence, really just its positioning is enough to deter SELECTAH from trying to make their way into secret. They did have the smokes to make their way into those tunnels, but the issue is that they would then not have any smokes left over for the post-plant scenario. So they're actually going to shift around inside the lobby, and this is going to be a lot of time up. They're basically going to have to hit the A-bomb sites. They don't really have enough time to pressure the ramp room with this play. That means it's going to be on the big rifle in heaven and the SMGs down in the site to try and hold on to things.
Yeah, but with these angles being covered, 3 players towards A, it should be very doable, especially with SDY getting those double kills, gotten himself flashed. Is going to get shut down by Mir, and that is going to be a clean sweep for Team Spirit, keeping all of the players alive. And SELECTAH getting nothing out of that force round. Now we're going to get to see the odds from our partner at LootBet, and this definitely tells the entire story.
They certainly are favoring Team Spirit on the opening map of the day, and it's hard really to argue with them. There's just such a high skill disparity in these teams just generally throughout the series that both maps really should be in Spirit's favor, despite the second one being more comfortable territory for SELECTAH. Skillless scout in the hands of I Disbalance as he spotted out the first player atop Mini. He can't convert the shot though, unfortunately. That means Juan Flatro gets the opener for this round, but the rifles are still available. Juan Flatro gets the flying headshot there and nearly turns things around for his squad, but some Die Young and Chopper, they come back with 2 rifle kills of their own and bring it into a 3-on-3.
Yeah, a couple of Deagle headshots reign supreme so far. SDY on site is going to get shut down by Oscar. They have the bomb on their back. They can get the plant. And Magic's from outside. Chopper from up in heaven. But Oscar gets himself another kill. And all of a sudden, Team Spirit against an eco. absolutely torn apart thanks to these deagles. Chopper's the last man standing, has to save his M4 into the next round. 5 HP to his name, and that is going to be a massive round victory for SELECTAH.
It certainly is. No armor invested. This was supposed to be the freebie for Team Spirit, but those deagles alone are able to do enough work on the frags to steal this one away for the SELECTAH squad. Team Spirit, I think they just about have enough cash to buy up into the next round. Tropper probably going to be dropping an M4 over, and then it's going to be SMGs and FAMASs elsewhere. But the guns are coming out for this CT side. SELECTAH with a pretty decent opportunity now, though, to start putting rounds on the board on this T side. And I mean, they only really need to look at 5 or 6 to have a decent platform to work with in the second half.
Yeah, and that is a nice opener coming through. IDisbalance still not on the ops. I'm Young on the XM, so he's going to be playing that close range fights. It's actually kind of surprising. Edward is still on 0 kills, and so is JL. So they managed to take that round with... Wait, they have 3 players on 0 kills. Who got all the kills in the previous round?
On Flatro and Oscar, it must have been.
Damn, that is just heavy carry coming out from these 2 SELECTAH players. Juan Flatro also in the previous map has previous series has really stepped up to the plate, and now showing us how it's done as well. Good showing from him, it seems. But will they be able to convert this one in their favor on SELECTAH's side? They did choose the T side, so I'm expecting some solid strats on their end that they must have practiced enough to give them a confident feeling to start on the T side after winning that knife round.
Well, with a minute eaten up off of the clock, SELECTAH really haven't found much map control, and their utility is limited, so they're going to try and dump some flashes into the A site and then go quickly towards the ramp room. Nobody actively defending that angle yet, and Magic's atop heaven. Decides maybe he doesn't want to rush down to hell and potentially into his death. This could be a freebie bomb site now. Young is down with the shotgun, and rotations are on the way with the M4A4, but he has to be very careful in this control room that he doesn't get taken advantage of by the M4s. Instead, the shotgun works out at close range, and JL through the smoke is Chopper trying to deny the plant. Can't quite connect the shots, but it is a man advantage for Team Spirit in this retake.
Yeah, it is very possible. And Les Edward chimes in with a bunch of kills. IDisbalance gets a scout headshot, needs to get another one. Luckily, Chopper helps out his teammate, but it's Oscar up on top. They know that he's there. Edward's all the way towards ramp. Will they be able to retake this, or are they just going to go for the save? They're going to push out, and it is going to be IDisbalance with the scout in hand. Another round going in favor of SELECTAH. Not really the greatest gun to save into the next one, especially with AKs lying about everywhere. He's going to charge in to try and secure an AK at the end of the round. See if he can find anything, or the M4 just in time will be able to save that one. But SELECTAH getting themselves their second on the T side. Looking pretty solid here with Team Spirit's economy pretty much in shambles. They should be possibly getting themselves their third on the board.
Indeed, it should be a fairly easy conversion from SELECTAH in this round. Very little investment coming out from Team Spirit to support the M4 that IDisbalance saved through the last round. So it's going to be SELECTAH actually pulling into the lead on the T side, despite losing out on the pistol round and the following force. All really based on this one eco victory, and they're converting kills rather well in this round as well. Mir going down as the first player gives the man advantage towards this SELECTAH squad and further increases their chances of victory here in round number 5.
Disbalance still has that M4, and the Deagle from Magix might get something done outside. Never mind, Edward finds himself a nice little kill, and now it's going to be really problematic to get anything more done. Oscar, they don't even want to lose a single player on the SELECTAH side. Not a bullet has landed, not a point of HP has been claimed by Team Spirit in this round, and I am honestly impressed. I did not expect this to happen, at least so far. Of course, it is still early days in this map, but the fact that they chose to start on the T side and then getting themselves such a nice showing to get 3 rounds this early against Team Spirit, that does really speak for their confidence level. However, iDisbalance is going to invest everything into a glass cannon op with a flash, and that is going to be the big green stick that he needs to hold down this defense for Team Spirit.
Well, he's spent the cash. Let's see if he has the aim to justify his investment. No defuse kits available for Team Spirit, so they're going to want to try and avoid having this round come down to a retake scenario. iDisbalance up in heaven, going to play slightly more passively with that AWP, holding the wider outside angle rather than playing through the garage with it. SELECTAH happy to play things slow and just deploy the standard outside utility for the moment, but they're actually trying to fake things out here and draw some extra players over to that side of the map. Instead, they look to move into the lobby and deploy utility for an execution into the A-bomb site and perhaps a quick explosion into the vents.
Yeah, I do like a good setup with utility towards the A site. It is something that not too many teams go for. They're not going to go heavy on the utility. There's, I think, maybe one player up top. It seems one player is going to be the utility man. The rest are going to just brute force their way in on towards the A site. Quickly on site. There are 2 players stacked up, though. 1 kill coming through. iDisbalance peeking out wide, will go for the flick, but misses it. Nade is actually gonna land on tap. That's a team kill from Juan Flatro, dropping the bomb on site and giving Team Spirit a solid chance here. Oscar with the flash tries to peek out wide, but that is gonna be Magic's getting himself a kill, and all of a sudden it's a 2-on-2. Juan Flatro does chime in to at least make up for his mistake, but it's iDisbalance with the big green stick. No armor though. His only utility thrown out, which flashes himself, but Edward is close range right now, and he just drops down, loses a lot of HP as well. This is pretty painful. Does he expect Juan Flatro to be in that angle? Juan Flatro will at least make up for his mistake of throwing the nade on his teammate, but it is going to be SELECTAH taking that round away from Team Spirit and absolutely looking flashing while they do it.
This is going very well for SELECTAH at the start of Nuke. The 4-2 lead, probably going to be a 5th round converted already. They're so close to that minimum successful T-side scoreline, and we're not even halfway through the first half at the moment. Team Spirit, this is not the strong start I was expecting from them whatsoever. And they're actually in a little bit of trouble. If they allow SELECTAH to take control of the next full gun round and continue streaking rounds together on this T half, they're going to find themselves in a very tough spot indeed.
Yeah, Team Spirit, of course, do not have the greatest showing on their CT side. I think about 40% win rate on it, so they need to get as many wins on on the T side. They need to get as many CT rounds as possible, because SELECTAH, honestly, 6 rounds, and they are everything after 6 rounds is pretty much a bonus for them. Magic's does to get the kill onto Oscar though. Juan Flatro is pretty low, but there's a big flank coming outside with iDisbalance holding Secret and getting the shot in on Edward. With the damage dealt to the SELECTAH players, this might be very doable for Team Spirit all of a sudden.
And now it's SELECTAH who start to sweat a little bit in the round as this crossfire has been set up towards the B ramp, and it's good for 2 kills as well, leaving Tapper totally alone with his AK, and there are pistoling players advancing in on him as well. Chopper at the tight left angle has body armor to support this engagement, but doesn't even need it. Finds the double headshot, and it's Team Spirit who steal away an eco of their own in this first half. That puts them up onto 3, but doesn't quite break the SELECTAH economy just yet. However, it does mean the buy from Team Spirit is a lot stronger in this round than it otherwise would have been.
Yeah, it's something that you definitely, I mean, that was a nice little steal coming in from them. Well done with the Deagles, with the CZs and everything. iDisbalance has his big green stick, this time with armor to back him up, but they're just going to go for the straight up A rush. Juan Flatro spots up SDY on top of blue, and Oscar has his own op ready, but Balance wins that duel, and it is going to be a shutdown, it seems, of the SELECTAH squad. Team Spirit, they were ready for that push to come in from SELECTAH, and they just ran headfirst into a bullet storm.
Well, another buy going to come out for the SELECTAH squad now as they perhaps look to keep things at a slower pace. That tends to be what is more successful for them on the T side, and we have an opportunity now, of course, to talk about our case partners over at Hellcase, the biggest and most well-known case opening platform with almost 100 cases, the updated case battle, upgraded, dozens of monthly giveaways, and loads more unique features. Sumdai Young is going very aggressive into this lobby. I'm not quite sure if he's given the sound cues away, and has not actually, and he's found the completely free kill onto Tapper there. Not quite upgraded his weapon, so I'm not sure whether Tapper was fully invested into this round, but what a lovely kill for Team Spirit to have. They have total lobby control now.
Yeah, it's Oscar getting a kill on Magix though, but Balance holding the angle, and that is going to be a double for him with the op in hand. He is definitely looking a lot more awake. Does not get that flick connection. Edward and JL both chiming for kills. It is an outside brawl between the two sides, and JL down to 19 HP. Doesn't have the bomb in hand, but it is going to be Mir getting the last kill, and Team Spirit take back the lead with the economy on SELECTAH completely broken. They will be forced to eco in this one, and finally Team Spirit get themselves a breather.
And this is their chance to start pulling away on the CT side and put some distance between them and their opponents. They're probably going to be wanting double digits at the end of the half here. 9-6 at bare minimum to call this one a success. And SELECTAH starting to slow down now, but will have a buy coming out in the next round. They're going to try and use these pistols towards the B ramp to take control of it here in round number 10, but Magix and his teammate seem to be shutting things down rather cleanly. Balance assisting the M4 with the AWP, and it is all a cleanup from the two ramp defenders. 6-4 up go Team Spirit as SELECTAH look to bring the rifles out yet again.
Yep, that is, I mean, Balance is definitely feeling it. This is a very op-heavy map. What was actually the third map in the pool again? I know that second, okay, Dust 2, very op-heavy map. Mirage, reasonable. Would say that the first two maps are a lot more dangerous for Balance, though. And yeah, he definitely is having a very good showing so far. They're going to try and go aggressive onto A, but Chopper just burns down Edward with the molly, and a man advantage for Team Spirit towards ramp. Magix gets flashed off the angle. If he repeats, of course, might be a little bit dangerous, might just get himself killed, but he's just gonna fall back, and Balance should be able to help him, I think. Where? Oh, he's already down below. Misses the shot from double doors, but SDY is towards control, and together they are chiming in for a bunch of kills. Does not expect Juan to be that close, and Sumdai Young will get rid of Oscar. Last man standing. Tappa, AK in hand, but 4 players to try and take down is a pretty tough task for him. Doesn't have the bomb control either at the moment, and yeah, this is just trying to get some economic damage dealt in the round.
Here's the player beneath him, and should be able to get the freebie there. He does do so onto SDY, but doesn't have the bomb on his back. That's the real problem for Tapper at the moment. His position is also known by Team Spirit, and he has to spend all this time shifting forward to the bomb and collecting it. But perhaps the hidden benefit to this collection is that Team Spirit might believe he's changed targets quickly over towards the A site. Mer certainly hasn't. No one from within the site. He's able to take down Tapper and put Team Spirit up onto their 7th. SELECTAH probably going to have to eco into round number 12 now and give Team Spirit 8. They've really woken up after that eco round victory.
Yeah, it looked a little bit dicey for them, but finally looking like they are awake, and SELECTAH trying to go for the fast, flashy plays. It could possibly work out if Team Spirit aren't prepared for it, but it does seem that they have their utility ready to defend almost against anything. 2 scouts now for SELECTAH, one on top by Oscar, and Mir will get himself one, but taken down by Juan Flatro. Luckily, Idis Balance is there to help out Chopper as well, who's just dealing some decent damage. JL, that nade is gonna blow him up, and the last 2 players in Juan and Tapa outside. Will they get anything done? Juan trying to find that rifle that got dropped, but Idis Balance is not going to whiff too many shots anymore, and that is a nice round for Team Spirit. Juan Flatro on 12 frags, by far the biggest, highest score of his team, but will unfortunately not be able to get much more done with those kills.
Matching the scoreline of Idis Balance at the moment, but the issue for SELECTAH is that the second highest fragger on their squad has the equivalent number of kills to the lowest fragger on the Spirit squad, and they've gotten into the habit of knifing each other at the start of these rounds. Not the way you want to be beginning things, and starting to run out of runway in this opening half to put those magical 6 rounds on the board that they would be hoping for. Team Spirit with plenty of utility to work with and 3 AKs on the defense as well. Such a lethal prospect to be working with. They might even go aggressive into lobby here.
Idis Balance with the op is just going to hold the angle. Oscar is right above it, so they might just face up against each other sooner rather than later, but Idis Balance is not going to get aggressive. He's just going to hold that, and the moment he sees a peek, he can fall back outside. 4 players down secret, with 1 player up top. Samda Young down below to try and defend that B bomb site, of course. And Oscar is still just playing that lurking game right now. They know that there has to be a player somewhere, and it is going to be Samda Young. Popping a couple of shots, will fall back immediately and give away that area. Tried to go for the quick sneaky 1 shot and then fall back. Tap actually gets rid of Magix, but Samda Young trades it back. However, another one coming in from Juan Flatro, and now the B bomb site is very doable to be taken back. Oscar is still on a flank towards Secret right now. And that Molly's going to force Chopper forward. It does get spotted out by Edward, if I'm not mistaken. And now Chopper on the site will have to hold the line. Tap against the kill. It is on Mir and Idis Balance to try and clutch this one out. But will they get anything done? Their angles are being found, in Idis Balance op in hand. Not really a solid chance here, but he'll go for it because they have more than enough money for the rest of the half.
Opening shot secured by the CT Orpa. He switches now to an AK. Time is not his ally though, and he has Edward on the long flank to worry about as well. Taps that bomb, but can't find the player in front of him, let alone the one behind. It is a 5th round secured by SELECTAH, 1 away from getting the 6th round scoreline that they're looking for, and 7 definitely a possibility for the SELECTAH squad on this T side. You're absolutely right in terms of the Team Spirit money though. They have cash to buy up in this round and the next. They're set for the rest of this first half and will be hoping to secure themselves double digits at the end of things.
Yeah, that is what their goal is. At least deny that 6th for SELECTAH. You do not want to be facing up against a rather dangerous CT side, because we don't know what kind of strats Team Spirit have on their T end. Their statistics do say that it does not bode too well for them. However, denying Juan Flatro that AK might also be a crucial point in their game plan. Make sure that he doesn't get all the weapons that he needs, because 13 frags is pretty impressive with the fact that his team is just not joining him. Oscar is on 9 kills, but the other 3 players slowly struggling behind, unfortunately. JL only on 2, Tapa on 5. Don't know if Edward on 4, so it really is those 2 powerhouse players doing a lot of the work right now. We do expect to see an execute towards that A site with mollies coming in from Oscar, and a smoke to come through. Let's see if that's going to pay off. Of course, JL can molly off Chopper from the area, but there's smoke to counter it out. Chopper will be able to smoke himself off the angle. On site, Young gets a kill onto Tappa, but the rotations are coming in from the Team Spirit side. Nice shot from Oscar. Idis Balance up in heaven. They don't need to peek him, but they still do. Idis Balance gets a shot in on Oscar, and JL is behind the box on site. Will get the catch off to Idis Balance. Nate comes flying in, not going to do too much. Mirror's still down below vent, but Juan Flatro is just going to jump into the vent. Bomb is dropped, and that is bomb control. 15 seconds left. Molly on top of the bomb. Time's up, and the round has been lost by SELECTAH.
9 for Team Spirit, and potentially 10 now as well, as SELECTAH are slightly limited in the terms of their buy for the last round of the half. It's a scout in the hands of Tapper, a Galil for Juan Flatro, and an AWP for Oscar. And then just Pistol supporting the rest of the T side. Should be double digit secured here by Team Spirit, barring any impressive Deagle headshots that pave the way for SELECTAH to get a bomb plant.
Yeah, it started off pretty nice for SELECTAH. They still managed to get 5 rounds, which is in it itself already pretty impressive. Made Team Spirit sweat, but they just need a little bit more of that team action. Oscar opens up onto Young though, and that is the opener they desperately need. Chopper. Ooh. Idis Balance getting 2 from the secret area. And Chopper chimes in for Juan Flatro. Now it's all on JL and Oscar, and this round is looking pretty tough for them to come through, especially with Chopper getting another one through the smoke. Oscar alone, op in hand, will have to go for a massive op clutch, but he will not even win that fight against Idis Balance, who is now on 17 kills in the first half with that big green stick. Definitely woke up after those initial couple of rounds.
He certainly has. The 10-5 scoreline found at the end, despite a 4-round streak at the start of the half from the SELECTAH squad. It's not quite enough to find the 6-round scoreline that they were looking for at the end of that first half. Now it is Team Spirit who need just 6 to finish this map off early, and with a Pistol following those conversions, they should be in a great spot to do so. The odds have not changed much from our partners over at LoopBet. Very similar statistics to what we saw at the start of this map. SELECTAH, despite them being on the easier half of the map now, they still are the weaker team overall in the series. And if they lose this Pistol, those odds might go even further into Spirit's favor.
This pistol is going to be pretty crucial for SELECTAH. Close range, Oscar does spot out that Chopper is nearby, tries to get himself a tag through the door, but nothing really gained there. Ramp, there's a 2-man hold towards ramp, which might actually result in a couple of kills, but at the moment, Team Spirit, they're just holding everything. Idis Balance holds outside. The rest of the team is holding lobby, and they're waiting for SELECTAH aggression to come through.
Well, shots fired, but not quite connecting for any damage at the moment. That's all the utility gone now for Team Spirit, and that means they have 2 players without body armor for the rest of this round. But Magic and Chopper, they have opened up for 2 quick Glock kills, and that is space created, but not quite free reign of the map secured by Team Spirit. Oscar looks to go aggressive and needs to be careful of Chopper's positioning here. Doesn't expect it, and so gets a swift execution in the back of the head. That leaves Edward and Tapper, 2 USPs to defend this round and retake the A-bomb site against all 5 Spirit players.
Yeah, Team Spirit just using those angles nicely, playing the slow game so far. Edward and Tappa, that you have to, I mean, this is very tough to achieve, and Young is also holding the ramp push from Tappa. This is all set and done here. Team Spirit taking that pistol, and I mean, honestly, their default was just pretty much wait until SELECTAH start to push. They pushed ramp themselves to try and get some kind of reaction from their opponents, and they definitely did with that good shot onto Oscar, who got greedy looking for an opening.
That's the 11-5 lead for Team Spirit, and SELECTAH, they want to try and deny a 12th round going the way of their opponents. Probably going to be on players like Juan, Flatro and Oscar to go big with these Deagles. It's only Edward with an automatic weapon to hand, and that means if Spirit can overcome this round, they should be 13-5 up and just 3 rounds away from closing out their pick at the start of this series. Edward's going to take that MP9 quickly towards outside, but doesn't overextend with it. Instead, happy to be an advanced guard of the area and leave his pistols at closer range indoors to try and find some more favorable positions and gunfights.
They did show it in the previous half as well, SELECTAH with the pistols to get a lot of stuff done. However, it does seem like they're gonna get pretty much nothing done here because Team Spirit, they're just playing that slow game, waiting for SELECTAH to make mistakes. Juan Flatro, the only one towards the A site. They're still double stacked towards ramp with Edward and Tapa, but they've got time on the side of Team Spirit. Still a minute left on the clock, so there's no need for them to rush. They can just play this one out methodically, play the buddy system, and then shut down Juan Flatro on the A site, get the bomb planted, and that should be the final nail in the coffin here. Chopper finds Juan Flatro, and not a kill landed so far for SELECTAH. Even dropping the bomb to SELECTAH so that he doesn't accidentally die, and he's going to be playing hold that flank. The 2 last players on SELECTAH towards ramp will just be saving their weapons, most likely, to give them something into the next round.
There won't be much else brought out by SELECTAH in the next round other than these 2 saved weapons. Tapa's going to keep a hold of his Deagle at bare minimum, and I don't really see these rifles extending too far for kills. Balance is going to go forward up first with his Galil at bare minimum as the most expendable rifle, but this starts to get too expensive for Spirit if they continue to push at this point in time, and it would be unnecessary weapons given away. Tapa's dealing more damage here, and Edward could wrap around with the MP9 to finish him off. They want to defend these rifles, and they've actually ended up giving a Galil away, upgrading that SMG in the hands of Edward. It's still going to be one of the only main weapons that SELECTAH have to work with, though, and it shouldn't be too much of a problem for Spirit heading into round number 18.
It should definitely not. It is a rather lackluster buy from SELECTAH. Of course, they do have one Deagle that Edward probably gave away. Has a Galil, could still get aggressive here outside and maybe get a nice frag himself, but they're around him. They will spray him down and Edward will fall. That's the only rifle that they had saved. That will drop, and Team Spirit's got outside control completely. Just waiting for, again, aggression from SELECTAH. They're playing an incredibly passive kind of CSGO playstyle that you don't see a lot of CIS teams run.
You certainly don't. Spirit just creeping forward. They want to avoid losing these AKs unnecessarily. You know how quickly rounds like this can go from 0 to 0. Well, that's JL put down, and he was probably the most dangerous potential for a kill outside of Oscar, but he's whiffed that Deagle spam. Balance gets away with it on 1 HP. And Tapa, he's only got head armor and this Deagle to work with. Pushing up into the A site to try and hunt down a weapon is very unlikely to be a successful prospect. He might look to go outside to get back Edward's Galil, but at present, Chopper is waiting for exactly that plan.
Yeah, Tapa is not going to get much done. I mean, just saving the body armor and helmet is more than worthwhile right now. Gets a nice catch onto Sunday Young, but does not expect the double up from Chopper to come through. They save 4 players on the side of Team Spirit. Still have a reasonable amount of money. No op buy just yet on their end. And Oscar picking up the X. I'm going to be playing close range with that gun to start farming some cash so that he can pick up his own op.
Well, 13-5 up now. SELECTAH are desperate to win this gun round. They cannot afford to let Team Spirit on to 14 and then need to be in an ecoed position from that scenario. The early Molotovs mean that Oscar cannot take a position atop the hut, and actually Sumdai Young's made his way straight down into those vents. He's waiting for the rest of his team to take outside control now, because he's going to wrap around back up those vents and join his team most likely to assist in this A site execution. Peeking up, nobody peeking back at him for the moment, so he knows it's safe to get into the site. Come around to try and find more CTs as well, but they're actually already starting to back away from the A-bomb site at the moment on this SELECTAH side. One Flatro in heaven, the only man who could try and stop a plant at the moment, but it looks like he doesn't want anything to do with it. Chopper does get taken down by a nice headshot from JL, and he's doubled up in garage. That makes this round a possibility now for SELECTAH. 3 versus 3 on the retake with 2 Molotovs available.
It is still reasonably tough though, but with those 2 mollies, they can at least molly off close angles, and Tappa still has one as well. He's going to throw the flash, and they should pounce at the same time. Magic's completely blinded, and a double spray down from Flatro. Luckily enough, Mir will not be able to recover that spray, and that is a great retake coming out from SELECTAH. That flash was perfect on the mark, and Team Spirit never saw it coming. So good double kill from Juan Flatro to turn that one around in his team's favor, and SELECTAH win the first full gun round on their CT side.
Team Spirit very close to shutting the door on SELECTAH there, but SELECTAH get away with the 3-on-3 retake thanks to the perfect flashbang and stay alive on nuke. Guns still available for the T squad though, and Idis Balance has his AWP to hand now. Still plenty of utility to work with on the Spirit side of things as well, so not out of the woods yet are SELECTAH as Edward goes aggressively outside. He wants to be careful. He was predicted in his push in rounds prior. Idis Balance this time is the man watching out for any outside defenders with his sniper rifle, but for now no kills will be found by either side.
Yeah, just a little bit of poking and prodding, see if anyone makes a mistake from the SELECTAH squad. They are running low on utility on their end, and Idis Balance has that big green stick. I think Idis Balance and Chopper are both over 20 kills. Idis Balance is on 20. I think Chopper's on 22. Yes, they 22, 1, and 6. Absolute ridiculous scoreline for Chopper. While Mir is actually normally the one that has the highest score. He has the highest HLTV rating, and pretty impressive showing, if not even the top fraggers. The top fragger in the team is stepping up that much. It is going to be Idis Balance holding the outside peak for now, getting aggressive towards garage, but again, without... Ooh, Oscar actually gets the kill onto Idis Balance, who had his back turned to Midi, and now all of a sudden they are going to go for a quick little boost coming out. Sneaky beaky. Will they get anything done? Oscar gets himself another one, and a boost will come through. No one is holding that area, but they definitely, yeah, Juan Flatro peeking that angle up top. Will spot out Mir, will get Mir and lose his life, but Magix might not expect another player up in rafters, and he definitely does not. Edward gets himself a kill, will be taken down by Chopper, but the time ticks down, and that is Team Spirit losing another one. SELECTAH, they get themselves the second gun round, and now the money situation on Team Spirit is pretty lackluster.
Indeed it is. Might have to drop down on to an eco in this one and allow SELECTAH up to 8. The CT's starting to come alive here on nuke and starting to string rounds together as well, which is very necessary to build a strong CT-sided economy. At the bare minimum amounts of utility available, Spirit are going to utilize that to try and take outside control. There's a fairly nasty rifle crossfire set up if Spirit go anywhere other than secret, but thankfully for the T side, they choose to push down into the safer tunnels. Chopper actually gets through with his A AK and looks to swing back into Oscar, but this is the only rifle for the side, so it has to stay up and kicking. Does find a quick headshot. That lets iDisbalance go up to the M4A1S. Edward's only on 4 HP as well, so there are tagged CTs on the board, but no bomb control at the moment for Spirit as they need to recover it outside.
Now, Juan Flatro also with the aggressive push towards lobby gives away a lot of intel to his team that it's most likely not going to be around. Tap is already hidden in sight towards B. However, the rotation towards A is going to be pretty long if they actually do go from outside towards Mini. It is going to be all of the T's just crawling outside. But Edward peeks wide with his 4 HP, gets himself a kill onto Mir. And needs to be very careful, though, because, again, 4 HP, 1 stray bullet is enough to finish him off. Has his back turned to Chopper, will get chopped down by the iDisbalance instead. And that gives them another rifle for the side of Team Spirit. Of course, without armor, it is still a lot of aim punch coming through. JL towards ramp. Does he expect Chopper? Chopper expects him, and Chopper shuts him down. Now it's all on Tapper towards that B side. He has to drop the bomb, and that is pretty much all he needs to do to win the round. Sumda Young, peek out wide, shut down. Round 1 from SELECTAH if they keep their last 2 players alive. Tapper even gets the next one, and iDisbalance jumping down. Will die after the time, and that is the money gone for iDisbalance on the Team Spirit side. Okay. SELECTAH winning 3 straight in a row, and the money situation on Team Spirit because of that kill is not that great.
Nobody checks the tight corner in the B bomb site, and Team Spirit, they lose control of another advantageous position in these rounds. iDisbalance can't have a rifle in this one off the back of dying after time, so it's just 4 AKs that Team Spirit are trying to work with to put themselves up onto 14. They really want to score soon. If SELECTAH can get up to 11 or 12 before Spirit go up to 14, they're in a very good spot on the CT side, and Mir's already been taken down by Tapper through the smoke. Man advantage to the CTs, and it looks very much like SELECTAH are starting to wake up, but some Young and Chopper with 2 quick replies could be the plays necessary for Spirit to pick up this 14th round.
They are reasonably tagged, so it's definitely possible, but Juan Flatro, who has been going pretty big, I mean, he's on 18 kills, the only one on his team that's anywhere remotely close right now to evening out his kill score. On that A site, has to just defend it massively. Tapper can rotate towards Heaven quickly, though. But they're just playing the time game. Juan Flatro gets a tag in on some Young, and look at the HP. That is just 1 spray down. Could take them all down in a matter of seconds. And Tapper seems to be heading towards Heaven to try and help out his teammates. Whereas Team Spirit, because they are so low, they are really anxious and terrified of walking into stray bullets. But Chopper gets the catch onto Tapper with a nice flank play coming out. And Juan Flatro has to defend against 4 unless they rush towards the B site, and it seems that's the plan. They're going to get the free bomb plant in. Juan Flatro will not be able to get there in time to deny it. iDisbalance will get taken down, and he's still on 100 HP. Chopper and Young both 1 bullet away from dying. Peek coming through. Juan Flatro gets himself another one. Is looking pretty solid right now. Might not expect the player to come in from the big flag. Chopper right behind him. And Magic's on top of him as well. So this is going to be pretty hard to still clutch out. Will he check his flank in time? He will not. Magic's is from the heavens. Will pounce. And that is 14 for Team Spirit. SELECTAH. That was a close round that they definitely could have possibly turned around. But unfortunately, the Chopper flank came in.
And that one victory from Spirit is enough to break the SELECTAH economy as well. It's just pistols available for the CT side to try and deny map point going towards their opponents here on the opening map of Nuke. This is the pick of Team Spirit. We have the pick of SELECTAH. in the form of Dust 2 up next in the series. So they still have the opportunity to stay alive, even if they lose control of this map. One Flatro opens up with a nice deagle shot, and JL actually is going to get another one onto I Disbalance. The bomb's not gone down yet, so this isn't exactly the safest round for Spirit. These deagles are always a huge threat, no matter what team is using them.
It's still an incredibly dangerous weapon for $700, and they can definitely pounce on this squad, this Team Spirit squad. The peek in wide from Chopper, tap at close range, will get taken down as well, and now it's all on Oscar and Edward to go big. But, okay, Oscar gets a headshot. Edward gets another one. Edward goes massive, and they actually dig them all down. Will that be enough time? I would assume it's going to get pretty close, but he should have it in the bag, and that is going to be SELECTAH clutching it out. What a massive round coming out from this SELECTAH Dig squad.
And Edward, a player who's been relatively quiet so far on the map, goes big with that dig and wins out the engagements. Another round that Spirit should have won, and another retake that they lose control of. While this may not make a difference to the result of our opening map of Nuke, it doesn't look good heading over onto Dust 2, where it's less comfortable territory, or I should say more comfortable territory for their opponents, and a scenario in which they're probably going to have a much easier job on those retakes. Great opening kill found by Chopper in this one, though. They need to follow up here with another frag. Eventually, Edward does fall down, but Oscar's got one back at bare minimum. He's taken down Magics and dropped the bomb in the secret tunnels as well. He deploys more utility and goes bigger for yet more headshots. Some Young, though, has brought it back into a 1-on-2, but Juan Flatro on the clutch, always a very dangerous prospect.
Juan Flatro, they might not expect the third player down secret. Some Young actually does have an inkling that something might be up, but this flank could be absolutely massive. They have both their backs turned towards him, and will he be out of there just in time? Bots, one player out, and that is the bomb drop. Juan Flatro down to 2 HP, though. Sees that the bomb is gone, knows that beer has to be in there, and still clutches out. Juan Flatro with a big 2K in the end, and SELECTAH. I mean, all of these rounds that they're winning, they get away with murder.
Team Spirit having some serious trouble closing out this map at the moment. Losing clutch after clutch, but it's not even clutches for their team. It's clutches for the opponent that they're just taking control of round after round. That should be won by Spirit. They're just making crucial mistakes and allowing SELECTAH more and more rounds. If SELECTAH can get up to 12, 13 at this point in time, before Spirit get up onto 15, that is very comfortable overtime territory for SELECTAH to be pushing, because they only win with a single player surviving. Their economy is stretched, but they've done enough to put Spirit onto an eco, so they should be able to build their own bank a bit here. Actually, they're going to call their own timeout.
There's SELECTAH. They are still, I mean, every single round is so incredibly close. This is up against an eco, but Team Spirit, they're also a lineup that is super deadly with the Deagles. Look at that. Chopper, 31 kills for the Team Spirit squad. I Disbalance has been rather silent on the T side, but still 21 kills in total. Juan Flatro, 23 and 20. He has been going big the entire game for his team. Whereas, I mean, JL, Edward, yes, the double 1 dig from Edward was pretty massive. That last round actually was pretty much, again, Juan Flatro and Oscar, which has been the name of the game for the SELECTAH squad the entire time on their 1 rounds on Nuke.
This certainly would have been a different map if Juan Flatro was not on that SELECTAH roster. Been having huge amounts of impact for his squad and have helped quite significantly to contribute to SELECTAH's best Nuke performance in the last 3 months of HLTV official matchups. I wonder whether Team Spirit are even going to have enough cash to buy up. Chopper's definitely not going to be able to afford anything like an AWP or a Krieg, but he might just be able to still get AK and utility up into the next round. These Deagles always a threat, and Mir proving that with a quick headshot onto JL outside. That is the longer range weapon removed from CT spawn. And a man advantage garnered by Spirit.
Yeah, losing the op there, especially JL's just been struggling so far. 6 kills and then getting deegged. That just is absolutely disheartening for him. But yeah, Team Spirit have the man advantage all of a sudden. And these deagles, if you get 1 or 2 more one-taps, it is looking incredibly deadly. You do have Oscar picking up that op towards ramp. Is now out in the open though, so that's kind of scary. Will get the shot in on Chopper and immediately fall towards the B side because they're going to try and swarm him to get that op drop. But Oscar re-peeking, no scope coming out, and Magix, he was greedy for that gun, but Tampa was already down below to save his buddy Oscar. And SELECTAH getting 11 rounds. They are definitely performing a lot better than I would have expected initially. Oscar, nice shots coming through, especially that no scope in the third. This one is just absolute ballsy, but gets flanked by Magix and will lose his life there. However, they managed to keep that op alive, give it to JL again, see if he can hold outside with it. Whereas, as you said, Team Spirit, they don't have everything they want, but they, you know, one AK drop towards has been traded off for Galil. So besides that, it is still a pretty solid buy on their end.
One Flatro opens up for actually the second kill of the round as it's Magic and some Die Young to get the other 3. They explode into the A bomb site, and that could be the crippling blow dealt to the CT side. They can't hold on, and Tapper is just going to try and slink away with this AWP. Team Spirit finally put themselves up onto 15, and now SELECTAH would need 4 consecutive CT-sided rounds in order to force overtime, and their economy is going to start off in a very poor position to try and claim their first victory.
Yeah, this is looking very troublesome to say the least right now. They have just been barely winning these rounds every single time. They need that op alive, but the flash is raining through. Tap out, gets one. Will not get another. I mean, Team Spirit, they kind of went balls to the wall there, because if he manages to get 2, maybe 3 kills, their own economy would be completely in tatters as well. But they managed to drop that gun, and that is what it was all about. So they will be able to extend their lead. They have the advantage at least. It's going to be tough to try and win this one out for the SELECTAH squad, but they only need Deagles mainly to make a massive clutch happen.
Well, that nade's not really gone in the right place, but thankfully it's only that 1 point of damage onto Mir, but actually SELECTAH are dealing more than that. JL with 2 quick Deagle headshots. Some Die Young and Magix can reply though, and that's the important kill to garner for the T side. That gives them the man advantage, and it's all about timing now. The Molotov forces Oscar away straight into the waiting arms of Chopper, and now Edward alone to try and keep SELECTAH alive here on Nuke. He's going to push forward into the lobby, but Team Spirit are taking the bomb outside for the moment. He looks to walk into the A bomb site to try and defend it, and for now Chopper is waiting on the other side with an AK. Does not win the gunfight, so that's information to Spirit. As to Edward's location, he's going to push out into lobby, thinking that this may be a B execution. Actually, instead has rotated now into the trophy room, and it looks as though he does believe this could be a B hit. He's worried they've instead pushed all the way around outside though to try and take that portion of control, and hearing the plant go through, he now knows that this is coming down in the A bomb site, so has time on his side but can't really deploy that smoke and get away with anything. He thinks it's B. That is the round over. That is so unfortunate for Edward. He has been baited out by the sound cue. He thinks it's down in the B site. I mean, oh, what a horrible way to finish a map, ladies and gentlemen. There's literally no time now for Edward to get back up towards the A bomb site, especially with that Molotov down. He gets it wrong, and some Die Young can finish it off with the AWP. 16-11, the scoreline at the end of Nuke, and it is Team Spirit who take control of their map pick and put themselves 1-0 up in this best of 3 winners series. Find out if they can 2-0 with Dust 2 up next after this quick break.
Nice shot. Lock and load.
Wow, very good. Let me show you how it is done. Yeah, no. Woo, damn! That was one of the best nickel fights I've been to.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Malta Vibes, brought to you by Gaming Malta, a home of gaming excellence. It was a fairly decent effort from SELECTAH on that first map, but ultimately they were not able to defeat Spirit on Spirit's pick, which means we head on to Dust 2 with the Russian squad having a one-map advantage in the series. Dust 2 should be arguably the most balanced map of the day as it's SELECTAH's pick, but a decent win rate for Team Spirit as well. It is all up in the air in this series, and it's SELECTAH who are desperate to stay alive and go for that reverse sweep to remain with a chance to get that early playoff spot. My name is Protalis, and joining me again for this second map is DK Truman. How are you feeling ahead of Dust 2?
This actually might be, as you said, a pretty close one. SELECTAH on Nuke had a 0% win rate, even though their performance definitely warranted a win or two against some teams. But on Dust 2, they have a 100% win rate, and the win rate for Team Spirit is slightly lower as well. So that would give them an opening, but the only big problem I saw for SELECTAH in that previous match was that they didn't have everyone awake. They pretty much had Juan Flatro and Oscar going insane, but Edward, JL, and Tappa struggling behind a little bit. Tappa got a little bit more done, but definitely they will need everyone awake on this map because Dust 2 is a heavy fraggers map. It is a lot about individual performance. Of course, there's team play, but most of it is actually individual performance because the site holds on the CT side is most of the time 1vx situations where you have to defend, and even pushing into, you need to get those quick flicks, quick headshots because you're the first in the front line, and so many lurks and pushes on this map. It is very open in that regard. I think it is reasonably op-centric, and that, of course, favors the Team Spirit side because Ida's balance on his CT op especially looked absolutely insane. But SELECTAH definitely have a tough match ahead of themselves.
Yeah, it really is going to be a different one for this SELECTAH squad. And ladies and gentlemen, the knife round is ready to go here on Dust 2. Spirit versus SELECTAH. Spirit have the opportunity to 2-0 this series, advance early into the playoffs. Both squads going to be hunting down that T side here on Dust 2 as the more beneficial half to begin on.
Yep, that knife round is going to be reasonably interesting. Team Spirit is going to be losing that one. Most certainly, I don't think Chopper has what it takes to try and clutch this one out and is going to get knifed to death. Yeah, on the previous map, it was actually kind of surprising that SELECTAH wanted to start on the T side of things, though the CT side looks pretty well done as well, and it is going to be Team Spirit choosing to go for that T side on this on Dust 2, which is not really surprising at all for Talis.
Not at all. You do like to begin on the T side of this map just as the easier side of things, but it does mean that Spirit are going to be under a little bit more pressure to start strongly. This is actually the better half of the map, the CT side for SELECTAH. So both squads really going to want to come out of the gate swinging. It's such an interesting stat, actually. This is a really high percentage from SELECTAH. 82.9% round win percentage after getting the first kill. Normally that's in the high 60s, low 70s. 83, pretty good indeed. But the odds from our partners over at LootBet seem to think Spirit still have this one in the bag. Edward completely blind, but still able to get at least one kill as Oscar follows up with 2 through the door. This gets a little bit too dicey now for Team Spirit with the bomb drop. They're trying to make their way into the B-bomb site, but it's a very early shutout from the SELECTAH squad.
Now, all three jumping around window right now. Magix and Chopper still alive, have the bomb control. The flank is actually coming out, or at least, yeah, it seems Chopper's going to go for the flank towards mid, but it is being read by Oscar as well. He's actually looking all the way in the back to see if they are crossing towards that A site. And Magix, well, there's no reason to plant just yet. You still have about a minute. Chopper here steps nearby. And we'll get the catch onto Oscar. It's going to be a 2-on-2 situation. And Magic's still on that B bomb site, waiting for a peek to come through. But Juan Flatro, pretty dangerous player to deal with. Magic's is just going to stick. Or is he going to stick it? He does have backup coming through. And Chopper with a clean headshot gets rid of Juan. Now it's all on JL. Needs to take two. Has the defuse kit on his back, so it should be doable if he manages to get the quick take onto Chopper. Has time to play with, but not the advantage there. Magix catches him out, and that is going to be Team Spirit. Still turning that 4 versus 2 completely around.
Well, it was Chopper who was going crazy on Nuke, and he gets a big triple kill in the opening pistol as well to allow it the way of Team Spirit. Double scouts coming out from the CT squad as they go for the force on the Selector side, trying to get as many of these CT rounds on the board as they can at the moment to avoid being 2-0'd in the series. At the moment, Spirit are going quickly towards the B bomb site, and the lack of any utility towards the early tunnels position means they're going to be pushing straight out onto the site. JL at close range is dealing damage, and they've spotted a player out in the window as well, but soon enough these B site defenders are being cleaned away. Both scouts in mid at the moment trying to find damage, but very unlikely they'll connect a shot.
Yeah, Edward gets himself a headshot, though, on Ida's balance. Decent amount of damage has been dealt so far. Bomber's going to go down, and they're just going to call the save on Selecta. They're not even going to risk it. They dealt some damage. They keep their armor and weapons alive into the next, trying to get themselves the upgrades as well. 3 scouts, plus they have a couple of deagles to drop to their allies, and it's honestly not that bad of a buy into the next for Selecta. Nice save, nice quick round coming through, but Team Spirit will take that second round in their favor.
And while the 3 scouts can certainly do damage in the next round, it's a lot better than just utilizing the E-code pistols that Selecta otherwise would have. However, it should still be a relatively easy round for Team Spirit to get through here on the T side. Those scouts aren't AWPs after all, and they shouldn't be supported by rifles as Selecta look to preserve their own economy. Spirit, they can get through this one fairly cleanly. That's the objective. They don't want to have their economy suffer too much damage too early on. Idis balance on that scout does get his head ripped off very early on, and that is the perfect start for Selecta.
That's a nice clean opening frag in their favor. And towards long, it is going to be long range fights. The wall of smoke coming through to try and get the cross in, but Juan Flatro gets the catch on Mir, who they don't have. They actually didn't have the wall of smokes ready. He just walks past the first smoke. Second one didn't deploy yet. Magic's on site right now. They want to get the bomb plant in, but of course has to be careful. Does execute Oscar before he goes for the plant. But close range, Juan Flatro gets himself another in the round. And it is all on Magic's AK in hand, but has to clutch it up against 3. Will be able to get the player on short. Oh my god. Will he manage to take the last one down? JL has that AK in hand. Will get the headshot in, and all of a sudden Selecta, after saving those weapons, throwing out that massive BM right there at the end on Magix, will clutch out the round in favor of Selecta.
That is one stolen away by the Deagles even. Really, it wasn't the 3 saved scouts that had much to say about that round. All on the Deagle play, and I think it sort of reinforces in my own mind that something has to be done about the weapon, whether it's its price point or its fire rate, something like that. I just think it might be slightly too powerful in the current economic meta. It just never feels like teams are on full eco rounds. It feels like there's very little punishment for losing full gun rounds because those Deagles are just so dangerous. Now, this has been an interesting start to the round because I heard a couple of chat sounds going on, and SELECTAH haven't made their way fully into the B bomb site. So maybe they were expecting the round to be stopped at the start here. They have now gotten the positions, but Edward is not ready to get the kills that he needs to. JL already shut out of the window. I can't really see SELECTAH going for this one, even though it's only a 4-on-5. Now that they lose an additional man, 3v5 retaking the B bomb site is not something you want to be going for. Ooh, and Magic even goes for the overextension to take both of them down on the retreat.
Yeah, he's on 8 kills in 4 rounds so far, so definitely looking pretty solid. Oscar will have to try and save that up. Luckily, no one is heading towards short to try and shut him down just yet, but there's still a long time to go. He needs to try and stay hidden sneakily on the map. Honestly, if he would have managed to just rush mid towards the B site, there was even a possibility to go for a ninja defuse this round, but you would have to have the timing, of course, perfect on the mark to get that done. And Oscar's going to save himself and up into the next. With that save, they could force up behind it, but honestly go for the eco and see if Oscar can make something work into the next round should be all that they're doing.
That really does have to be the key. Just preserve the AWP into round number 6, and Spirit, they should be able to get through this one without sustaining too much damage. Actually, they've gone for the counter boost on the CT side, and that's worked out. Idis Balance gets taken down again at the beginning of a round, but again, it's Team Spirit looking to make their way into the B bomb site. Oscar is here with the AWP in the window, but gets caught out with an aid in hand, and Magic flies through the air to take down JL. That leaves one Fratro and Tapper alone in a 2-on-4 retake. The Deagles can always find cheeky headshots, but a retake may be too much to ask for.
On Flatthroat, trying to get at least a kill there, but is going to get caught out by Mir. Does not expect him that close. Actually got a little bit dicey because Mir missed the initial spray, but Tappa secures that op and is running away with it to save his life. Try and keep that one intact for Oscar into the next round. He rushed all the way towards T-spawn to try and pick it up quickly, of course, because Oscar won that duel. And now Tappa in the pit is going to get pushed by Chopper and is going to be pretty tough to defend it. Will not be able to keep it alive, and that is Mir. I was expecting the BM shots in the head to come through, but Mir does hold back on his rage right there. So it is going to be another one in favor of Team Spirit. 4-1, and this is going to be the full buy round coming out from SELECTAH.
Team Spirit perhaps showing that they hold the moral high ground, not stooping to the level of the BM. And Idis Balance now is actually quite paranoid about peeking the mid doors, and he should be. He's been killed in both of the last rounds pretty much instantaneously, but these B executes from Team Spirit, they haven't really failed them yet. There haven't been any smokes though to deter the early tunnels pushes so far, and now that one has gone down, Spirit seem to be dissuaded from going straight through into the B bomb site. They're thinking about a mid or a short take at this point as they're trying to prompt shots from Tapper. He's just waiting for the mid flash at the moment and backs away into CT spawn to try and protect himself. That Molotov will force him further away, in fact, and the deep Molotov within the B bomb site, I'm not sure if it's enough to push JL away. In fact, it is, but he does get away with his life. This utility deployment from Spirit is absolutely great in forcing the CTs deep within the bomb sites. That's going to make rotations take a very long time as long as they take Tapper down up close.
Especially because the CTs have only 3 flashes left at the moment for their only utility. Spray through the doors. Edward does win that spray duel. There's one player in tunnels and the rest towards mid, but this is looking dangerous for Team Spirit. If they don't pounce in time, they can get pushed from behind. There's going to be the boost coming through. Magix does expect it though. JL gets himself a double towards the B side, and Juan Flatro will find another one onto Magix, and the round is over. Idis Balance has the op in hand, is going to try and save it for the next round, and has to go for a massive sprint to make sure. Okay, no one is actually going for any type of hunt from the SELECTAH side, so they're just going to let it slide that he keeps that op alive.
There will be a buy coming forward in this next round from Team Spirit anyway, and it all goes wrong when they start to slow down there. They go out mid, they miss out the timing on those nades a little bit for the mid to be execution, and they can't really group up to wrap into the bomb site. That means that there aren't enough bodies to root out the CT crossfire, and ultimately SELECTAH are able to defend that B bomb site relatively easily. The buy back available now, and iDisbalance looking for an opening kill. Not going to find it and not going to overstay his welcome either, as it flashes out a long and early map control gained by the T side. It's SELECTAH readjusting with short control of their own, but it looks like Spirit are going to try and get quickly towards this A bomb site.
Yeah, they're pretty far up towards A long. Flashes coming through from the CTs. They're holding long angles. There's going to be a boost on to short as well. So they're definitely expecting this push on the SELECTAH side. Molly should deter the T's from getting onto the bomb side. But iDisbalance through the smoke gets rid of Juan Flatro. And Edward needs to be careful that he doesn't get anywhere close either. Opening kill for Team Spirit. They still have 2 smokes left for another attempt at the cross and a bunch of mollies. They flushed out almost all the utility from SELECTAH with their initial smokes and flashes. So really good job from Team Spirit to try and just get rid of that money situation from SELECTAH.
They can't afford to remain passive, though, because JL has pushed all the way up into the B tunnels. That gives the info to SELECTAH that this is an A execution. There's no kind of a fake going on whatsoever, so they don't need to be rotating away, but they do need to be winning these gunfights. Oscar finds at least 1 kill back onto Team Spirit, and they don't have any utility to force him off. Eventually, the Molotov lands, and he doesn't connect his 3rd shot, but JL's actually won that gunfight in towards T spawn. Oscar's only on 3 HP, but that's more than enough to work with if he is supported properly by these rifles. Short control taken by SELECTAH as Team Spirit, they've put some Die Young down A long, expecting a push from that side of the map. That means that, well, it's iDisbalance rather towards long with the AWP, but SDY in the site is still going to be under pressure. Drops into the site and finds a quick headshot. That's an important kill as JL advances in as well, though. He can't find that one. Time ever so limited. The smoke going down, and Oscar on the low ground does not connect the shot. That means that iDisbalance can fire out from long and secure the round for Team Spirit. A hard-fought defense, but a very well done hold there.
That was pretty nicely done. That second shot, honestly, there was a chance for the defuse to come through depending on his positioning there, but JL on the site, he completely lost track of the bomb, so he was just running circles to try and tap it, and unfortunately took a little bit too long, but a great hold there from Team Spirit. They still will have a buy on the SELECTAH side. iDisbalance is trying to face up against anyone peeking towards B, and that is the initial aggression from Team Spirit, snuffed out by 1 smoke. But again, utility-wise, SELECTAH have very little left in the bank, and that is where, without any mollies, this could be incredible aggression coming out from Team Spirit in no time, where they can flush out a site completely. It is going to be the smoke execute towards B. JL close range, not going to get checked though. Will get a double spray down, and Someday Young chimes in with a kill. They spot a player towards window, but the smoke towards the doors is actually either not gonna be, no, it's perfect, but they just sprayed 2 players down through the smoke. iDisbalance, the last man standing with the op in hand. They're gonna try and force him out. He gets a leg shot, but it's not gonna be enough to get a kill, and Team Spirit, they lose that one after a pretty big play from JL and just spray down through the smoke, catching them completely off guard.
These B executes from Team Spirit are starting to look a little bit dodgy on the T side of Dust 2 now, and previously they had Molotovs to utilize on that close angle, but this time they didn't molly off that position, and that allowed JL to get a double kill on the entrance. iDisbalance, that is a very aggressive play. They call that position suicide for a reason. You can't really find yourself there in the early round. You're just going to get cleared away by the CTs watching mid. That's the scout dropped and probably not recoverable. Actually, Mir might have just been able to pick it up, but he's going to need some very quick headshots indeed if his team want a chance of securing this round. He's actually found the body of Oscar, but been taken down by Edward. It did look dangerous for a while, but I think Selecta have just about recovered this, especially with this JL push now.
Yeah, they know where one of the players is. He's actually going to push through mid, but the bomb is down top mid. And Selecta now have control of that objective. Magix and Young need to try and recover it. But yeah, Magix knows that Tappa is nearby. Tappa has the 5-7 in hand, and he can just tap away at his head easily. This is super tough to recover from the Team Spirit side, but it's definitely doable.
Well, JL really has just lost Young. Has no idea where he's gone. He's going to go back out towards T spawn now. It's all about timing. Tappa's paranoid about being pushed from mid. And this long contingent is going to have to come out at the same time. I think Young's just won that timing, and he's found Tappa as well. Now it's got to be on JL. He's found them both in the back, but Young turns around for the AK headshot, recovers the round for Team Spirit, and they absolutely steal one away from Selecta.
That one was with a pretty good move coming through.
Now we have the opportunity to talk about our case partners over at Hellcase. If you use the promo codes MaltaV and MaltaV15, you can save more and grab what you deserve. Limited weaponry for Selecta, as this buy is actually very disjointed. Edward is fully invested, but Oscar staying on 4,200 for the AWP. Either way, should be a fairly easy one for the Spirit Squad.
Spirit Squad sounds like the cheerleaders.
But just had to make a note of that right there. It is going to be Spirit pushing out towards A-Long. They've got the control there. Juan Flatro, again, just a blind shot through the smoke. Headshot onto Mir. Man advantage for Selecta. These pistols just absolutely dreadfully terrifying.
Dale on the fast flank as well. Young needs to be careful. Looks like he has no idea of this prospect, but has just tucked his way around the door. The thing is that this flank has just sold the information. All of Selecta are stacked up towards the A side of the map, and these pistols can deal so much damage at close range. Team Spirit have basically no utility to get onto the site either. They've got a single smoke for the cross, and they are trapped by JL on the flank. Opening rifles do all the work, though. 3 headshots in quick succession. And despite that scout barrel being spotted by JL, it may not be taken down. The Deagle now left alone as Magic converts a kill with the AK. And Spirit, they win that round with sheer aim alone.
Yeah, that one we're very quick, and I did a lot better right there for Team Spirit as expected. I thought that they'd run into a massive blender as well right there, but it does seem that they managed to clutch one through. 7 rounds for Team Spirit right now. Selecta, pretty weak buy again. Of course, they had to double eco anyway, so that Oscar semi-save from last round didn't really matter too much. We'll still have enough for an op into the next. JL gets down in lower tunnels, but I think they do know with Chopper rushing through. Yeah, they definitely know that there's a player down below. JL gets executed as well. Edward will get a shot through the door to shut down Chopper, so they at least trade 1 kill. And Juan Flatro will miss that kill, so it's going to be all on to Edward and Tappa to get anything done. But Tappa doesn't even get the tap in, and that is going to be Mir. Completely oblivious to the position of Edward, will still get the kill nonetheless. And now it's, yeah, Tappa, the last man standing. They're not even going to go for the bomb plan just yet. They're just trying to get all the kills quickly. 8-3 in favor of Team Spirit, and it is looking pretty solid on their end in this second map.
That is the round lead guaranteed at the end of the half at bare minimum. And they have an opportunity to put out a very deadly scoreline in this first half as well. If they can defeat the Selecta buy here, they'd be well on their way to a double-digit first half. The nades obfuscating vision of mid, and that's actually allowed Team Spirit to get quickly up to A short. Selecta have positioned themselves towards deep long for their early A presence, and that's allowed map control early go the way of Spirit. 2 men for SELECTAH in that B bomb site in the form of JL and Edward, but I'm not quite sure that is the target at the moment for Spirit, as they are happy to sit on long and wait for any mid pushes. They are going to look to wrap into this A bomb site eventually though, and Oscar's at very close range with that AWP in the site, looking to fire down from that ramp. He's smoked off for the moment, but will still be a vital piece of this defense.
The flash is coming through. CTs only have 2 flashes. The flick is not going to connect, but Juan Flatro does know what's up. Gets himself a double. Will be traded out, though. Amir gets himself a double in return. They have the bomb site control. There is still a player towards short of the Team Spirit squad. I keep thinking of Spirit Squad right now. But yeah, it's going to be Magix holding that short angle with 1 player towards long. And if Magix holds the line here, it should be very doable. JL dies with Edward down to 10 HP. Luckily, Tappa comes in to at least get a kill, but the bomb has been planted for short, and that is the advantage for Team Spirit right now. The op picked up by Tappa. It is going to be Jiggle picked, but Tappa gets the catch because Magic peeks out wide, and that is going to be SELECTAH clutching that one out in the end. Tappa, great job on him. 4 rounds for SELECTAH, and they keep themselves going in this game.
A very close one, but SELECTAH do manage to pick up the victory. Cash still available for Team Spirit, so that means guns are still available on the T side of things. Balance been having a pretty quiet one with his T side AWP so far, and feels like a little bit of a missing link for the Team Spirit squad. He's probably going to be a very significant player on the CT side of this map for Spirit, so hopefully his aim improves more on the defensive side of this map. He's Molotoved off at the moment and not going to be able to find an opening kill towards long. It's a great opportunity to look for as the T side, but so easily countered by CT utility, and that's exactly what happens to him in this round.
Yep, it's exactly as you say. Disbalance tagged pretty decently for the on the side of Team Spirit. They're gonna head towards short, where we have, I guess it's Oscar with the 1 and done spot. Get himself a shot in, waits for the flash to be popped, could get the shot in. Oh, Mir does spot him out, and he does not even get a shot off. Oscar's falling back towards truck. But it is dangerous to try and take that fight with the biggest gun they have on SELECTAH's side. B, in the meantime, is getting pushed by JL, so that's again all the intel they need. Juan Flatro might actually get a quick flank to outside as well, but Magix is holding down that push. Does not expect Juan Flatro right now. Juan Flatro does pick white, but he still managed to win that duel. Chopper gets attacked through the smoke twice, but does not hold down that spray and will eventually hold the CT players at bay. Juan Flatro does chime in from long, but the bomb plant is down, and it's all on Tappa and Juan Flatro to try and clutch this one out. Juan is actually falling back, so they're just gonna call the save on the SELECTAH squad. Tappa even gets rid of Chopper through the smoke. And with that, we're gonna look at Team Spirit getting 9 rounds, close to the double digits.
Just 1 more needed to secure double digits at the end of another first half for Team Spirit. And despite Magic's whiffing out on that spray towards mid, they do still hold on to the round. And they'll be on 9 at the end of the half at bare minimum. Hoping, indeed, for that 10-5 conversion. That really is the ideal scenario for them. Well, the 11-4 conversion is the ideal scenario for them to be looking for at the end of the half, and I suppose it is possible. There's not going to be much investment coming out from SELECTAH by the looks of things in this round. Just those 2 rifles in the hands of Juan Flatro and Tappa. While Flatro certainly is a dangerous player, they are outgunned quite severely by Team Spirit in this round.
Yeah, it is a pretty big round for SELECTAH right now. They will have another one into another buy into the next round if possible. But Chopper, they're just holding the push, and quickly they annihilate their opponents with Tappa and Oscar, the only players left standing. Tappa has an M4, will at least get a kill for his troubles. Oscar trying to get the catch onto Magix. Will finally chop him down. 2 kills in their favor. They have an AK and an M4, so technically possible, but very improbable, especially if that bomb is heading towards the B side. I don't know why Idas Balance is running with his back turned to them. Tappa just taps away and shuts them both down. The bomb is dropped. SDY does have a smoke, though, to grab the bomb and rush towards the B side, but they gave SELECTAH a massive opportunity. Why is no utility being used right now? We'll get the bomb plant in, but Tappa has a very solid shot here to try and clutch this one out.
Don't know why Spirit went up mid. They'd already pushed some Young through the tunnels. They knew it was safe to go through there. Instead, they chose to push through the dangerous angle, and it looks like Tappa has the read on some Young's positioning in this retake. He's going to jiggle through the window to bait the shots. That's the positioning confirmed now, but can't swing out for the headshot. Despite a questionable play at the end of the round, Team Spirit are able to convert double digits. The last round of the half coming up now, and they are looking to hunt down an 11-4 scoreline. SELECTAH feeling like they are in trouble in this series.
Yeah, this is, of course, the winner's match. So the loser of this will drop down and face up against the winner of Apex versus Skada. But the winner of this will immediately be qualified for the playoffs. So there is a pretty big job to be made. Oscar's waiting for the flash to come in and will get the repeat. Shuts down Magix right there. But Mir gets a 1-for-1 trade towards short. Nice catch from SDY. And that means that Edward has to rotate towards the B side. The rotation is actually pretty long for SELECTAH, and they're just going to rush through. Edward, the smoke angle does give him away his position, but he gets a double spray down, drops the bomb. And they will manage to clutch that last round out in favor of SELECTAH. They're swapping towards the T side, which is normally the better side on this map now. SELECTAH definitely do have a shot, but they really need to start fragging better right now because Team Spirit, they are looking pretty deadly.
It's fairly balanced on that SELECTAH scoreboard. But I mean, look at those rounds on the CT side, completely isolated. They didn't win 2 consecutive rounds in that entire half. That's a really dire sign, as they never really got economic control throughout the half is what that means. They weren't able to build much momentum and start streaking rounds together. Now heading on to the T side. It should be the easier half of the map, but as you've alluded to already, their personal statistics as a team seem to indicate that they prefer the CT side of